Variables in Connected Components Workbench are the same as tags in Studio 5000, if you're familiar with that. To create a variable, all you need to do is double click in the Global Variables tab, scroll down to where the asterisk is, double click inside, and write in your new variable name. You can select the type that you would like. I will leave it as a Boolean, and then hit enter. A global variable can be accessed from any program as opposed to a local variable, which can only be accessed from within that program. Meaning if you have multiple programs, the local variables here will not be able to be accessed by this program. However, all the programs will be able to access the global variable. So as an example, here I can create a contact using my global variable that I created, test. Or I could create a new variable. Again, find the asterisk, double click inside, and write in your variable name. You can have the same names for variables between local and global variables, but you can only use local variables from within your program. What that means is if I tried to select my test bit from my globals, I get a warning. And it automatically will select the local test bit. One thing it will let you do, where it doesn't give you a warning, is if you assign the global tag to a routine and then you create the same variable within a local variable name. What I mean here is, so I just created a start bit, which I can use. However, if I now create a local start variable with the same name, and I haven't reassigned it or anything, it will automatically reassign itself to the local variable. And just as an example, I'll download this and show you. So it's important to keep in mind you can have local and global variables. So what I'll do is I'll trigger the start bit from my global variables list. There it goes, it's running. And I toggle this start bit from within my globals, and it has not turned on here. However, if I do it from my local variables tab, you see it did turn on there. Yeah, and it didn't give me a warning or anything like that, like it did with the test bit. So that could mess you up. And the other way to create variables would be to import them. You can do this by right-clicking on your program and going to import variables. You'd want to import variables that you had exported from a different routine or a different program. And when you import them or export them, it'll only export that program's variables. And similarly with the global variables, if you export these, you only get the global variables. You do not get the local variables as well. Alright, that's all I got for variables. Thanks.